The artist is Brent Benger. The medium is painting and the subject is baseball. Benger has gone from the world of Hollywood, where he worked as a studio artist, to a world in which he portrays the national pastime. In a style of homespun realism, Benger depicts the simple moments that define a sport. Baseball is a game of traditions, and Benger makes them accessible.
I think particularly in my case, with the style that I have of storytelling, baseball just fits right into that. It just fits right into my niche. There's something about the game, even with all of the problems that you hear about, that's different than any of the other sports. It truly is America's game. And I think it'll take a lot more than what's happening now to take that away from it. But it just lends itself, the characters in the game and the stories that can be told just lend themselves perfectly to what I do.
The 28-year-old Los Angeles-based artist was recently commissioned by Sports Illustrated, and it reminded many of Norman Rockwell's classic work for the old Saturday Evening Post.
Norman Rockwell did a few sports paintings and kind of took it out of just the man hitting the ball or, you know, catching the ball type of thing, and really brought you behind the scenes to connect the viewer with the game. So that you're not just a viewer, but you're actually almost experiencing it. And that's what I try to do, and try to bring the fan a little bit closer.
Benger's subjects were diverse. Nolan Ryan of Texas, Ozzie Smith of the St. Louis Cardinals, and managing great Sparky Anderson of Detroit, as well as two other future Hall of Famers, George Brett of Kansas City and Minnesota slugger Dave Winfield. Each had a story.
One of the things that struck me about Dave was that he's a very big guy, but he's a very gentle person also. And I really wanted to, on each of these paintings, try to depict the player as he was, maybe not as you see him on the field, but just more of a human side to him. And Dave was a good model. Once he caught on to what I was looking for, he snapped right into it and gave me all the time that I needed. And usually when you have a good model, the painting comes out better. When I did the photo shoot of Nolan, we had a little bit of a problem because this is the Rangers dugout, but we weren't able to photograph Nolan in the dugout because the fans all want him to give autographs all the time, and so it was kind of distracting. So what we had to do was we had to go down to the bullpen where there's a little bit more privacy, and I got a couple of 25-pound sandbags and stacked them up so that he could put his foot on them and make it look like he was stepping out of the dugout. So that's how we did this painting. This painting here, this is a little different than some of the other ones that I did. This one's actually of Ozzie Smith. You can see Ozzie in the background with some of the memorabilia. What I wanted to convey here was a little boy whose hero is Ozzie Smith, and he's listening to the radio. It's on the Cardinals radio station. It's obviously a crucial point in the game. Ozzie's up to bat, and he's got his fingers crossed, and he's intent listening to the radio. Something that I think a lot of people can remember doing, you know, when they were his age. And he's hoping that his hero is going to come through. This is the Sparky Anderson piece that I did. He's arguing with Ken Kaiser. When I painted Sparky, Ken was not available for this picture. He was in another city. So what I had to do is I had to have Sparky arguing basically with the air. There was no one there. So he did a real good job in acting. And later on I went to Anaheim Stadium where Ken was umpiring a game with the Angels, and had him pose for me, and then we superimposed it and put it together into the final painting. When I went to Kansas City, I didn't have a real clear idea of what I was going to paint of George. And the first thing that struck me was that he had a real good relationship with bat boys and people that not necessarily would be someone that would be important to him. He treats people very well. So I thought, why not have him pose with the bat boy? He thought that was a good idea, and I think it made the bat boy's day.
Commissioned last May, Benger had a deadline from Sports Illustrated, and getting 5 paintings ready for the August 23rd issue wasn't easy.
Oftentimes the case was that I didn't get any sleep, so it was an exciting project. I'm happy I'm through it, and but I would not mind doing it again. It was really a good experience.